Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for our Mortgage Minute Mondays with Linda May Tomko, home financing advisor with SocitaBank. I'm Alex Ward, your broker owner of Maxwell Devonshire Realty, and we're here today to talk about the most recent announcements by the federal government for this upcoming budget. So, Linda May, what was announced?
Well, we'll start with the rates because that seems to be the elephant in the room. Everybody's wondering what's happening with rates. So we did have a hold, which we kind of all expected. But the one thing that was mentioned, which hadn't been mentioned previously, was the talk that rate reductions may happen in the future. So with that, we had all the buzz, everybody talking, oh, potentially there might be some rate drops into June, July. We'll see what happens there. That's kind of the word on the street, is we may see a prime rate drop June or July. The fact that they held means that our our economy as a whole is slowing, and inflation they're seeing did drop in February. So they just need a little bit more time, I guess, to see what's happening overall with the economy in order to make those rate drops happen. Fingers crossed into the next coming months, we might see some prime rate reductions. We haven't seen bond rates did rally a little bit last week. So I haven't seen any fixed rate reductions yet, but I'm thinking, we may see that in the coming weeks. We'll see what happens. Usually, the banks will wait until after we see what's happening with prime, what the federal bank does with prime before they make any changes on their fixed products. But I foresee maybe something coming down the pipeline as far as fixed.
Yeah, and if anyone's got any questions, your fixed mortgage rate is kind of based off the 5-year Canadian bond, and then that's what dictates what your fixed interest rates will be, where your variable interest rate is based off what the Bank of Canada lending rate, and then all institutions bump it up by about 2.2%. So
Right.
then potentially give a discretion off of that to give you your variable. So
Yeah.
so
And
Bank of
variable
Canada
discretions have
says,
not been, they've been very, very low for the last 2 years, I would say.
yeah.
Just the discretions that the banks are giving on them. So, I mean, we may see that discretion change into the future too, and hopefully, get better.
Yeah. Anyways, the Bank of Canada is essentially telling you that not enough of you have lost your job yet. Not enough of you are hurting for them to lower interest rates. That is the honest truth. But there were some other really cool announcements other than status quo for rates. And what were those?
So the Bank of Canada, or not the Bank of Canada, sorry, federal government came out with a cool new plan for first-time home buyers if they're buying new builds. So previously, 100 years ago, not actually 100 years ago, but it feels that way. We had mortgages that were over 25-year amortizations in an insured product. We no longer have that. So the max amortization on an insured product is 25 years, except if you're a first-time home buyer buying a new build effective August 1st, you can now take it to 30 years. So what that'll do is it'll just help that overall qualifying piece in the mortgage. We can now add another 5 years to that amortization. We can do that on a conventional side when you're doing 20% down. We can already do that, but now we can do that for you first-time home buyers going forward. There was another cool little incentive as well for you first-time home buyers. RSP limits for withdrawal when you're purchasing a home maxed at 35,000. And then you had, a certain time period that you had to pay it off. You had a 2-year buffer, and then you had to have it paid off within 13 years. That number has jumped up to 60,000. So you can take out 60,000 out of your RSPs effective actually tomorrow. So any of you buying houses right now that need to pull money out of your RSPs, you just got lucky because you can now take out almost double what you could before. I'm going to just read out exactly what it said for the RSPs, just because we are not accountants. So I don't want to give anybody any wrong information as far as when you're going to have to repay this RSP money back in to your RSPs, obviously. So basically, anybody who has withdrawn between January 1st, 2022 and December 31st, 2025, you will also get more time to begin repayment. So up to 5 years in total rather than the 2 that you had prior. So just keep in mind, if you've withdrawn anything out of your RSPs as far as being a new first-time home buyer, you now can take a little bit more time to pay yourself back.
Nice. Yeah, I know
Good
when I
news.
bought my first place, condo back in 2008 is when I bought it, I think. No, 2007, December 2007. I did a 40-year AM with 0% down. My $156,000 condo, my mortgage was $163,500. And when I took possession in April of 2008, my condo went down in 30,000 in value, but my mortgage
Oh
sure
my.
didn't. So
No.
it's just a warning, when you do extend your amortization out, you are potentially putting yourself at a negative equity position depending on how the market's going. Market's going up in the right direction right now, so that will help all of you.
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing with that. So as far as qualifying, right? It's great there. If you were to increase your payments and put yourself back to the 25-year amortization period once you take possession, you are fully free to do that. As long with a Scotiabank, anyways. Say you moved it to a bi-weekly, you amortized it over 30 years, and then you moved your payments to a bi-weekly, it would automatically pay it off within 25 years. So that's just little tricks around that in order to kind of keep your amortization at that 25-year, and then you're not paying so much interest.
Yeah, yeah. But all of these still need to be officially announced tomorrow and then given royal assent afterwards. So though Krista
But it is
Freeland
good
announced them,
news, right?
yeah,
We're moving in the right direction as far as maybe qualifying and helping buyers out.
yeah. And don't forget, you now have the first time home buyers account, which you can also contribute to and have 15 years of time to start saving. So if you're 18 or early on in your process, yeah, make sure you're taking advantage of all these government options and registered savings plans to be able to maximize what you can buy in the future and allow that growth to occur tax free so that you can withdraw it and use it. But Linda May, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today. If you have any specific questions about your financial picture with as it relates to a mortgage, make sure you reach out to her. She is a home financing advisor with Scotiabank, and she is one of our preferred in-house partners. I'm Alex Ward, your favorite broker owner, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. See you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. See you.